Welcome to Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast, where you'll discover strategies to save money, save time, and be better organized in managing your largest financial asset and biggest expense, your home. Your hosts, John Bodrozic and Beth Dodson, who are co-founders of HomeZada, have been supporting homeowners for over 20 years. They are here to share with you their tips and suggestions, as well as interviews with industry experts, with the goal of helping you become a smarter homeowner. Now, here's your hosts, John and Beth.
Hello, and welcome to Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. I am Beth Dodson, and I'm here with John Bodrozic, the co-founders of HomeZada and your co-host for this show. We wanted to talk about, on this episode, the insurance industry and how they find value with HomeZada, because it's definitely around that time of year where we're seeing a lot of people are going through claims, people are experiencing disastrous type weather sometimes, or not even just even disastrous, but just weather that causes problems. You know, trees can go down for a simple storm, which could be just a basic storm, but the tree just decided it didn't want to stay anymore. So it went down, destroyed fences, roofs, whatever the case may be. But we wanted to talk about the insurance industry, and we've been super excited about this because HomeZada does have a lot of insurance companies that we work with, both at the corporate level as well as the individual agent level and the broker level, like everything in between. And there's a lot of layers to it. So with our podcast on our water damage, and if you haven't seen that one, definitely go check it out. And with our podcast, talking to you a little bit more about adjusters and their experience, also another podcast if you haven't checked that out. We wanted to talk about the insurance industry and how they see value in HomeZada and what they've told us. And so the first thing I want to do with John is, John, I've talked at a high level about there's a variety of different levels in insurance. And I've said all of these levels in some capacity are using our HomeZada platform in a variety of ways to connect with their customers. Will you, one, please explain from our minimal knowledge the levels of insurance in the marketplace and what we are working with in our company?
Yeah, that's a broad question. I might take two approaches to that. First is the insurance industry, as it relates to working with homeowners, is usually starts with selling you the original policy, which starts predominantly when you buy a new home. And then the cycle is that your insurance policy is usually for a year, and then you have a renewal.
Yes.
And then you keep renewing those things to protect that large asset and investment. And those are the two typical points that most insurance companies will engage with their homeowners. The other engagement is, I think I actually did a search on this the other day. I think it's only like 5 to 6% of your policyholders will file a claim in any given year.
That's it?
That's it. Now,
it's low.
Well, I'm not an insurance expert. I did some research and sourced it with multiple sort of sources. That's the data that I got. About 5 to 6% of the total policyholders that a brokerage or an agency has will file a claim every year. But that's average. Averages are dangerous, right?
Correct.
If you're a regional carrier in Texas or Florida with constant hurricanes, maybe it's more. And then maybe there's less claims geographically in, Pennsylvania.
Alaska.
I have no idea. So there may be regional differences. There's a lot of complexity there. But what I'm going back to saying is two reoccurring engagement points: selling you the initial policy and generating a renewal. But then there's I have to file a claim.
Yes.
So the first and foremost is that a lot of the insurance industry is looking for customer engagement. How do I provide more value between selling the initial policy and the renewal?
Yes.
And that's where we're getting a lot of interest. And with our existing insurance partners is HomeZada is clearly catered to the end consumer. homeowner to manage their home, and it's providing them value in lots of different ways. It's designed to be sticky during that entire journey. So the industry's coming to us saying, you've got a very interesting platform, especially now with Homeowner AI. I could use this to sort of provide more value during those 2 points in time.
Yes. And we hear that right now from our partners today. They are telling us that this is making my renewal process, by using HomeZada Professional, it is making, by using HomeZada Professional, it is making my renewal process easier with my existing customers.
Correct. And the other part that we've learned is, if you think about the insurance industry, it's pretty much 100% saturated market. I think it's like 92% of homes in America have insurance. Very few don't have any insurance. Usually those are the ones where the mortgage has been paid off and they've got enough financial assets to risk it.
Yeah.
So essentially, the industry is constantly, you just look at the ads that we get bombarded on with the insurance industry. They're constantly trying to get you to switch and competing on price. Don't get me wrong, that's all good for consumers in terms of choices. But if you're an insurance company, you're like, how can I get a value add to sort of remain sticky and not lose some customers at the end of the renewal process and keep them with me because I've provided them a value added service and I'm not looked as a commodity service. I'm actually a trusted advisor of helping the homeowner during that journey.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing that insurance companies are looking for is, not only am I a value add, but how can I differentiate myself in a world where there's so many insurance companies and it's almost a price-based selling process when it really doesn't have to be.
Correct. Yeah, and so that's one big thing. I guess the other we can drill into, I think, 4 or 5 other areas that I think the insurance companies that we've dealt with have really helped educate us on why they see the different value propositions of the use of HomeZada. And we could explore that, or we could go into talking about the different sort of agent, broker, carrier marketplace kind of discussion. I don't know which direction.
Let's answer the first question first. So let's talk about the types of entities or companies that exist in the insurance industry, because it is very it's a layered approach almost. And there are a lot of different entities, and not everybody probably fully understands that, especially if they're a new homeowner. They may not fully understand the different types of entities that exist in the insurance industry.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I'll start and you can add on to it. I'll start at the bottom, right, which is you have an individual insurance agent. And oftentimes they may be a sole proprietor. They have their own independent agency. They're a one-person agent. Or there are different types of models where you have some of the bigger insurance companies have insurance agents that only sell their particular carrier's product.
Yes.
Right. So you have those 2 different types of individual insurance agent. Then you get to sort of multiple agents working at an insurance broker, and the insurance broker is oftentimes designed to essentially shop for the consumer because they're representing 5 to 10 different insurance carrier brands. And when you're looking for home insurance, you talk to your broker and you're like, hey, the broker does the work for the consumer, and essentially we'll go out and try to get 5 different quotes from 5 different carriers for you. And the brokers, more often than not, their natural best interest is you, the end consumer, and they're trying to do the shopping process for you and evaluate all the different coverages. Right? Because there's always different, what's your deductible? How much coverages do you want? All the unique perils around, where you live and sort of the disaster issues. So there's that broker layer. Excuse me. Then there's a lot of brokers tend to be relationship driven. Because they still are very regional and they oftentimes operate in a section of a state or in an entire state. There are brokers that are regional that work in multiple states, and there are even national brokers that just have offices in all 50 states. Then you have pure, what I call insurance marketplaces. They're
Yes.
digital only marketplaces where you, the end consumer, you're going to these marketplaces. Same thing, carriers have got deals, and you're essentially trying to get your own quotes without involving a broker, but the bulk of the work is reliant on you, the end consumer, to go through all these different places.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top of the food chain are the different carriers, the people that are actually underwriting your policy, the ones that are actually insuring your house, the ones that if you have to file a claim, you have to file a claim essentially with them. They're the ones that are all the major brands that most of us are familiar with when we get, watch TV
advertising.
and advertising kind of mentality. So that's kind of like the food chain of individual agent, broker, marketplace, and then carrier.
And for people who are looking for insurance, there's no one way to do it. There's no right way, wrong way. There's just ways. That's all it is. There's just different options to securing your property insurance for your home.
Yeah, because again, think about even our customer base at HomeZada. We have everybody's in a different socioeconomic place, right? You have people that are fortunate to buy their first home, but money's tight, right? And they're in their first starter home and money's tight, but they need insurance, this, that, and the other, all the way to people that may have, acquired some greater wealth. They are in a better economic position, have larger homes, multiple homes. They're looking for more service around making sure that they're properly covered. So there's the white glove service, there's the online, give me the cheapest price, and everybody in between. There's the comfort factor of, do you like dealing with individual humans? Are you okay with just dealing with online marketplaces? Yep. The insurance industry provides lots of different choices, which is great because every consumer homeowner has different options over how they go out and pursue these relationships for their house.
Yeah, and it's just as a side note, when you do go out and get quotes on insurance, as a homeowner, please make sure you understand the value of your home as it's listed on your appraisal and or the contents in your home. If you have an estimated value of the contents, that's where a home inventory can help. But if you haven't done that yet, make sure you have an estimated value of those contents so that you can properly get the quotes that you need. And the systems that are out there, everybody will ask you a series of questions, but those questions are needed to give you the correct quote for your specific property.
Yep.
So the next thing you were going to talk about, so we've talked about all the different entities and the different structures of the insurance industry and how many people are out there. And we are not by any means from the insurance industry, just FYI. There's probably more complexity to this. We just wanted to give you a high-level overview of what we've seen in our partner relationships as well. But additionally, let's talk about the value that many of our partners are seeing beyond just differentiation and beyond value add. I mean, let's talk about some of the details they're seeing specifically with HomeZada.
Absolutely. The meat and potatoes I'd say there's probably 4 to 5 different real value propositions that insurance industry, I'll just use that broad term to mean everybody in that food chain, sees value in working with HomeZada. I'd say the first one starts with every insurance carrier pretty much recommends that their policyholders have a home inventory.
Mm-hmm. It's in many contracts too.
I'd say most of them don't provide an actual digital tool to make it easy for the homeowner to create a home inventory. So
I would concur with that.
So most of those people in the food chain will come to us and go, especially now with homeowner AI and home inventory AI, most homeowners don't have a home inventory because A, they think it's going to take too long, and B, they think nothing's ever going to happen to their home. Well, as we've seen in the marketplace of whether it's, water claims due to regular storms or natural disasters of hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, whatever the case may be, more and more people across America are facing some sort of climate weather perils around their house. Everyone needs to take into consideration that you do have a possibility of significantly having your home damaged and or potentially destroyed. The other part of that is the homeowner AI and the home inventory AI makes it much simpler and easier because the user can upload a photo of a room and the AI will automatically detect all those objects, and it makes it much faster for the homeowner to create an inventory, and they can do that for the 5 to 10 to 15 rooms in their house in less than 15 minutes, and they've got a great home inventory. And that is a problem that I think HomeZada has solved for the insurance industry, is we've cracked the nut using AI to make the process of creating a home inventory much better and quicker for the end user.
Yeah, and then that we talked briefly about water damage or weather damage from weather patterns, and we're going to talk more about that. But in our previous podcast, we talked about our own water damage that had nothing to do with weather. So damage can come to your home that has nothing to do with weather necessarily. It could be just something malfunctioned in your home, and you
your
still
pipes
need
froze.
Yeah, or
Your
a toilet
burst.
broke. A toilet wasn't managed and it broke, and it did massive amounts of damage. And so that's also something else why you can never suspect when something's going to happen. So being prepared is something that we're always about and we're always going to recommend. And taking a home inventory is one of those ways to be prepared. And it's good that insurance companies, they don't provide the tools, but they can introduce HomeZada to their customer base and encourage them to take a home inventory because they tell them to do it anyway. In fact, it's in some of their contracts.
Yes, and it's actually twofold. One is proactively, if the consumer homeowner takes a home inventory, HomeZada facilitates via PDF. It's the consumer's choice. They can share that home inventory with their insurance agent, broker, carrier, and say, am I properly insured?
Yes.
Right? Because we know that there are high value items that get capped or not covered at all, and you need a special appraisal or a special rider and all these sort of nuances. We don't have enough time on this podcast to get into them all, but sharing that inventory with the insurance company gets the insurance company and the individual consumer on the same page of I am properly insured in case a bad thing actually happened to my home.
Correct.
That's one value of the home inventory. The second value is if you did have damage to your home, whether it was through a pipe damage or a small little fire that got put out before it burned down the whole house or natural disaster, having the home inventory helps the homeowner file the claim over what got damaged.
Yes.
Right? So there's two value propositions on that inventory.
And if you are prepared with your home inventory prior to damage, it's so much easier to go through the claims process.
Yeah, it makes it easier for the insurance company. They have less coaching and guidance to do, and it becomes a much more pleasant experience in terms of, a customer engagement and a relationship in that process. But we've heard both of those situations. So the inventory is one key thing, and there's really two of those flavors. Is the proactive, am I properly insured? And then there's the, if something bad happened, everybody's on the same page over what needs to get replaced.
Correct. And one of those areas that we've talked about inside HomeZada, we recommend when our customers complete a project that they notify their insurance company that they've completed a project, which is also part of that updating the inventory aspect. And that also keeps everybody on the same page, the insurance company and the homeowner, because you and I have talked about this before. We're not saying that new construction is not a bad thing, but we're saying sometimes something gets missed and there could be damage because of new construction in your property and new remodels. And if you haven't acknowledged the new project to your insurance company, they may be quoting you on the old version of your house. And that could cause problems for both homeowners and insurance. And we want to make sure the insurance company has a better relationship with the homeowner. And so one of the things I always like to say is clarity is key when working together in any kind of partnership or arrangement, and that is a homeowner and insurance company.
Yeah, I can share a quick example on how that actually works real quick, right? So again, let's start with I just bought a new home. You had to get an insurance policy. Two big things on your insurance coverage. One is the dwelling insurance, which is if your house burned to the ground, what's the cost to rebuild it? And the other is personal property, which is all of your contents, furniture, electronics. Let's focus on the dwelling piece. Let's assume that you bought your house and the cost to rebuild it was $500,000. But 9 months into it, you decided to invest $75,000 in remodeling your kitchen because you bought a house that was 20 years old. Now, your renewal is coming up, and yes, if you never told your insurance company, then your house burns down, they're only going to write you a check for $500,000 to rebuild it. But you never told them that you actually invested more in rebuilding your kitchen remodel, because now if your house burned down the day after you did a remodel, you may not have enough dwelling coverage. So all we're trying to do, like you said, is get the homeowner and the insurance company on the same page to make sure that you're properly insured, and both parties can sort of still, maintain their views over how they want to manage either the insurance company, their business, or be the homeowner managing their individual home.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so another category that insurance companies find value in it is they're always looking to reduce claims.
Oh, yes.
Claims cost is one of the biggest costs for an insurance company, even though maybe if my stats were right of 5 to 6% of homeowners are only filing claims. But the volume of those claims, especially in a natural disaster area, if they're having to rebuild 1,000 homes, that's a lot of cost to an insurance company.
Correct.
Right. And if they've got lots of people that are getting, water damage to broken pipes, that's also a lot of cost to that. So how can the insurance companies incent their policyholders to keep claims to a minimum? Therein lies the value proposition of HomeZada having a preventative maintenance schedule.
Yes.
You talked about that at the beginning of the podcast. The storm hits, the branch falls, and the tree falls down.
That's correct.
And now you've got a roof damage. Well, what if the preventative maintenance tool reminded you before storm season, hey, it's time to prune your trees?
Correct.
Or it's time to clean your roofs or clean your gutters or do all these other preventative maintenance tasks. Then the risk factor of your home being a home that gets damaged due to one of these events starts to drop. It's better for you because you never have to deal with having to file a claim and dealing with the hassle. And it's better for the insurance company because the sum of all their customers or their policyholders are all pruning their trees.
Correct.
If all of that was happening, odds are there's going to be less claims costs. Now, I'm not saying that I'm smart enough to control Mother Nature, meaning, the tree could still fall down depending on where it's planted, but maybe that big overhanging branch that's hanging over the roof is one that you should have pruned back, and it's less likely to break off during a storm. And I could cite countless other examples of other kind of preventative maintenance tasks that can help reduce claims if you want to go there.
Yeah, and one of our partners in insurance, this is one of their most exciting part of HomeZada. And the reason why they wanted to work with us is because we offer a maintenance schedule. We set it up for them, and we send reminders. So it's not just a stagnant maintenance calendar. We send reminders, and their customers are now able to take care of the details around their specific house, or even work with contractors to do it. Maybe they have a concierge maintenance program that they've decided to work with, and those construction and maintenance contractors come in once a quarter, once a month, whatever the case may be, to perform some of that maintenance. And that helps the insurance company understand that, these houses are cared for, and we're going to see less claims, which also affects our bottom line.
Yeah, and on that maintenance piece, it's not only do we create the schedule, the AI, now home maintenance AI, creates a list of how-tos and troubleshooting.
Correct.
So here's an example. First-time homeowner, they should drain their hot water heater. They've never done it before, and that's a source of potential water leak, right? So if the homeowner is educated through our AI tool about how to drain the hot water heater, it's the educational process as well as the reminder that the insurance companies would find value in, because again, if every one of their policyholders was draining their hot water heater, odds are they're going to have less claims due to a broken water heater that flooded the room and caused all the damage kind of mentality.
Yes.
There's one other angle to what I call reducing claims cost that I think a lot of the insurance partners that we're talking to are very excited about. And that is the big natural disaster point. right? Which is HomeZada has integrated with the National Weather Service.
Correct.
And so based on your location, right, if you live outside of San Diego, it could be wildfire season. Humidity is low, winds are high. There's a potential for wildfires to be starting in your neighborhood. What can you do if the National Weather Service issues a high wind warning? Yeah. You're going to get that alert inside of HomeZada specific to your house. You could process that via the AI, and the AI is going to tell you things that you could do in the next 12 to 24 hours to create a better defensible area around your home. And at the same time, in Florida, they may be getting a hurricane warning, and you've got storm surge, and you've got different things that you can do. So the combination of integrating with the National Weather Service, knowing the location of what your home is, knowing what type of weather event is bearing down on your house and likely to hit in the next 12 to 24 hours, reminds either A, experienced homeowners who just forgot of the things that they could do, or the first-time homeowners who've moved across the country and have never actually dealt with this stuff. It provides them near real-time advice over what they could do to kind of minimize the potential damage that could happen if the actual event actually hits their house.
No, this is all important because not only does this help homeowners, but insurance companies benefit when homes are cared for and there is awareness by homeowners of what's forthcoming.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's that education of like, okay, you need to evacuate your home because something is going on, right? Should you shut your, water and gas off at your house before you leave? Right? So there's all kinds of what I call education of over, essentially, I keep going back to the theme of our podcast, be a smarter homeowner. Insurance companies find huge value if all of their homeowners were smarter homeowners on all of these things kind of mentality.
Correct. I mean, the more you know about your home, the more data that you have as a homeowner, the more your insurance company can provide you value. And the more you have to know the information, then you have to communicate it to the insurance company. And then the insurance company then can provide clearer data. I mean, they can provide you with a clearer, more accurate policy coverage. They can provide you with more information if you need it in terms of claims processing. And they can also provide you with more information and tips and tricks on how to better work with them and how to manage your home more effectively. And that's, I think, what everybody's looking for. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to help bridge the gap between everybody so that there can be clearer communication so that everyone can process whatever relationship they have, whether it's a renewal relationship, whether it's I'm going to buy your insurance for the first time, or whether it's I've got a claims process and I've got to move through that process. How do we do it with as much ease and as much awareness and with accurate data as possible?
Yeah, 100% agreed. And I had another thought. I just sort of lost it in terms of what I was going to share in terms of the value proposition.
To insurance companies?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Give me a second. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll share this with everyone. Our goal at HomeZada is to make all these relationships run more smoothly. And we want to help insurance companies work with their homeowners work with their insurance companies properly, and any other vendor they're working with. And we also want to help educate homeowners on how to care for their home. Because let's face it, we've all been there. I've been there. John's been there. We've all been there. We've all made mistakes managing our homes. And it's part of the reason why we developed HomeZada and this podcast is if we can learn from our mistakes and pass them on or bring other people's information or examples to the forefront, then hopefully other people won't have to make the same mistakes we did. You can make different mistakes, but not the ones we did. Let's make new mistakes.
Yes, I thought I captured the thought that I wanted to share. So, a lot of insurance companies, both at the carrier level and brokers, they produce a lot of content on their websites that tell consumers and homeowners best practices.
Yes.
They may even have maintenance tips. They may even have like weather disaster sort of, how to harden your house.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is all of that is generic advice. It's not property specific, which that's why it gets glossed over by many of the consumers. Like, oh, the insurance company is talking about wildfires. Well, I don't live in wildfire country, or whatever the case may be. So this gets into the customer engagement factor. With HomeZada, specifically with our homeowner AI technology, we're capable of creating property specific advice for every homeowner, thus every policyholder homeowner, which means there's much more value in creating that emotional bond of like HomeZada actually knows about my house and it's telling me this information in a proactive way versus, don't get me wrong, we all lived in this world. The insurance companies would love all their customers to go visit their website or read their emails. But let's face it, our emails are just full of all these things. How many do we not get to?
Right.
And consumers are busy with their lives. They forget to go to the insurance company's site to say, what should I do to manage this thing? This is the value of a tool like HomeZada is because they're already logging into HomeZada 2 to 3 times per month. So they're much more likely to see this content, and the content creates an emotional value because it's personalized for their house, their location, the size and value of their home, very personalized.
And let's face it, you and I have talked about this forever and a day. Not one single house is exactly the same anywhere in this world. Different people live in it, different furnishings are in it, different decor, different usage capabilities. Not one single house is exactly the same.
Yes.
They're all different. They're not in the same location. Doesn't matter.
Even the same, builder may have built 200 homes that all look the same, but their products may be different. And even if the products were the same, one house has been, a collector of musical instruments, and the other house is a collector of power tools for their construction business.
Correct.
They need different inventory for different reasons kind of mentality, which goes back to where I think we're really hitting the nail on the head is that HomeZada has turned generic advice, either from an insurance company or a broker or even a web search. All this stuff is generic. HomeZada is personalized and specific to your house, but it's also done in a proactive way versus a reactive way because the information is being pushed to the homeowner on a regular basis.
Yes, prevention. Get ahead of everything. And so by getting ahead of everything, this also provides more value to the insurance companies as well, because to our point, when we talk about maintaining a home, taking a home inventory, preparing for weather patterns, you are in a prevention mindset. And when you are preventing things from happening, then that adds more value to the insurance company. And what I mean by that is there's less claims, so there's less dollars being distributed out. There's less claims, even if weather is forthcoming. You and I have talked about that. Trees, even umbrellas and outdoor furniture, if you haven't put it away, could cause damage to your windows or what have you.
Yeah,
and so
they start to fly with high winds and bust your windows.
Crazy. And so, so all of these types of activities are prevention oriented, which provides not only value to the homeowner who doesn't have to file a claim, who doesn't have to deal with the damage. Because if you've got damage and let's say something took out a window or a roof, well, if you haven't addressed it and covered it, then it's going to create more damage. And people are traveling a lot more nowadays. And if you've got this kind of damage and you aren't home, that's when it can just escalate and get worse. So you can't make this up. But on the insurance side, they also get benefits because they have less claims and they have a better relationship with their customer because they're providing and introducing tools that can do all the work that is necessary for their customers. And it's a win-win-win all the way around for everybody.
Yeah, that's why I think we're most excited about this, which is we know that consumer homeowners love HomeZada because they're organized around their home, but we've also started to experience a lot of insurance companies also start to see the value here because it's a tool that helps both sides of the equation, right? Homeowners feel peace of mind, they're properly insured, they're prepared for disasters, they're prepared for water damage and freezing temperatures and this, that, and the other. And the insurance companies are providing that value add to engage those customers, increase their renewals, but at the same time having a better, smarter homeowner to reduce those claims costs. Because if the storm hits, everybody would rather, the insurance companies would rather write you, a $10,000 check to fix your house versus a $100,000 check to fix your house. All because you pruned that big tree that was hanging over your house and only a small branch damaged some gutters versus damaged the roof, created more water damage and all those other kinds of things.
Kept you from living in your house, everything else, one thing after another. Thing after another. But yeah, so anything else you want to add prior to us closing this out?
I do not. I think I'm got all of my content out. Yep.
Oh, perfect. So we want to thank you for being here for Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. If you like this, please like it. Please share it. If you know of anybody who thinks this could be a valuable podcast, please share it with them so they can view it as well. We'd love to hear your comments and your feedback. Please share whatever comments, feedback, and or anything you'd like us to talk about on Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. If you've got a question, let us know. We are open to suggestions as well, but we wanted to talk about these professional industries in this series of podcasts because they are our partners and they are our customers and they are interested in helping their customers, which are the homeowners. They don't always know that a solution like HomeZada is out there for them. So we want to bring awareness to that and some of the value that these organizations gain from partnering with HomeZada. So thank you so much. Once again, feel free to share this. And if you have any more information or would like to contact us, please visit us at homezada.com. That is HOMEZADA.com. Or contact us at info@homezada.com and we will respond to you as quickly as possible. But thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time. And until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. Visit beasmarterhomeowner.com to sign up for our newsletter and find out more about software to help you save time, save money, and manage your home.